Hello, everyone. Thank you to another episode of Empower with Nancy. I have been thinking about something the other day that I felt that it would be perfect to share on my show today. When I look back over my own life, there has been a handful of decisions that I literally changed everything. Like I had to make a lot of different changes in order for me to live the life that I want to live. Not because these changes were easy. It it was tough and I had to come out of my comfort zone. And sometimes it was incredibly hard for me. But when I made them, my life started moving in a completely different direction. And I think sometimes we believe change happens because we suddenly become more confident or because the circumstances finally lined up with what our desires are, or because somebody gives us the opportunity that we've been waiting for. Does this make sense? But honestly, that's not what I have seen. I've seen women stay stuck for years. And it's women, men, just people in general, not because they aren't smart enough or capable enough. That's because they haven't made a decision. And sometimes making a decision is the hardest thing. And maybe you can relate to this or maybe not, but I'm pretty sure you could probably relate to it. Maybe there's something currently right now in your life that you know needs to change, but you're scared shitless to change. You're scared of figuring out, focusing on the outcome. What happens if I fail? What happens if, my parents or significant other are not happy with my change and my decision? Maybe it's in your career. Maybe it's in your relationship. Maybe it's your health. Like these are all the things like career, relationship, health that we constantly have in our lives. Maybe it's the dream that you keep putting on the back burner because life feels completely busy. And you're like, you know what? No, I'm so busy. I'm going to put this on the shelf. And then what ends up happening, you keep repeating, you bringing those dreams back when a new year starts. But by the end of the year, what happens? You didn't do anything about it. You know deep down in your heart that something needs to change, that there is a shift, but you're fighting that shift. You can feel it, but you're hesitating, right? We all do. I get it. Sometimes I still do. I've been there more than I can count. So today, I just want to share 3 decisions that have made a profound impact of my own life and on the lives of so many people that I have coached. That is so magical and so beautiful to my heart. And my hope is that by the end of this episode, that you know exactly what decision that you've been avoiding, right? Again, this is all to help you. The For the future to become bigger than your past, what do we need to do? I think this is probably one of the hardest things that we do as human beings because all of us have a story. We all do, all of us. We've all been hurt. We have all failed. We have experienced a profound disappointments, right, in our life. And if you're not careful, those experiences begin to define us. And we allow that because we feel stuck. We don't know the direction to go. I know for me, there were seasons in my life where I could have easily allowed to let go and get in my way. All the disappointments, all the really difficult conversations, experiences to be really become my own identity, but I didn't allow it. Did it start that way? Hell yeah, it did. But I wasn't going to allow a bad experience or any challenges that I have in my life make the decision of my future. And honestly, there were times that they did. But maybe you're experiencing that too right now. Maybe right now in your life or previously, you go through something painful, and before you know it, you're no longer saying, I experience failure. You're saying, I'm a failure, right? That's the difference. That's a very different conversation. And here's what I've learned, that your past deserves to be honored. I want to say that again, that your past deserves to be honored. It deserves healing, but it does not deserve to run your future. Do not allow it. At some point, I had to decide that what happened to me wasn't going to determine where I was going in life. Because if we're constantly looking in the rearview mirror, it's really hard to move forward. And that's where people feel stuck. They point fingers, they blame the way they were brought up. The laundry list goes. And trust me, I'm not saying, oh, Nancy, like, you don't know what I've gone through. You haven't experienced that. No, I haven't, but maybe I have. But that is not my choice. It's your choice to determine what it is that you want to do. You either continue to stay stuck or you do something about it. So here's a question I want you to think about. What story are you still telling yourself that may no longer be true? I just want you to take a minute and sit with that. What story are you still telling yourself that may no longer be true? Because that question alone can change your life. Stop waiting to be chosen. And that is the number 2 decision. Again, the number 1 decision was your future has to become bigger than your past. And number 2 decision is stop waiting to be chosen. This one gets me every darn time, especially when I'm coaching women and men, because so many incredible people are waiting. They're waiting for someone to believe in them. They are waiting for their spouse to support them. They're waiting for their boss maybe to recognize them. They're waiting until they feel confident. They're waiting until they feel start loving themselves. They're waiting until they have all the answers. And to be quite honest with you, can I tell you something? I've spent years and years waiting. And one day I realized something. Nobody's coming. No one's going to save me. No one's going to run my life. No one's going to make the decisions for me but myself. No one's going to knock on my door and say, hello, Nancy. Here's the life that you've been dreaming about. Nobody. And if anybody tells you different, they're full of it. I had to decide that I was truly worthy of choosing my own self, my own identity. And that right there was huge for me, because choosing yourself can feel uncomfortable to know the tomorrow, especially if you've spent your entire life taking care of everyone else. But choosing yourself isn't selfish. That is something that is hard, because you feel that if you're doing something for yourself, that you feel guilty that you shouldn't. If you're going to go buy something, if you're going to go get a massage, if you're going to go on a trip, if you're going to go hang out with the girls or the guys, whatever it is, sometimes we feel completely guilty. And sometimes we feel guilty and or selfish when you have your own family, you've gotten married, you've started a family, right? Oh my gosh, I shouldn't be going and spending getting my nails done or my pedicure because I should be not spending money on myself and make sure that I have that money for my kids' sports or what have you. But choosing yourself isn't selfish. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is necessary. And maybe today, you're choosing yourself simply means making the phone call, starting the business that you've been wanting. How about setting boundaries, right? A lot of people feel setting boundaries as you're being rude, mean, you're going to hurt somebody. No, boundaries are crucial in our lives. Saying no, saying yes, those are the boundaries. Whatever it is, stop waiting for permission. You already have it. And number 3 is start showing up as yourself today. You know, I had a huge series, it was 10 series, and I talked a lot about becoming her. Super, 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 super powerful because I truly believe that the woman you want to become or the man that you want to become already exist inside of you. You already know that. So the question is, are your daily decisions aligned with him or her? Right? Because here's what I know. You don't wake up one day magically transformed. That does not exist. And I know you know that. You become the person through the choices that you make every single day. And it's not hard, guys. It's simple. Don't make it complicated. Go back to the basics. Because I ask myself this question all the time. What would the highest version of Nancy do right now? Whew, that one is powerful. Not the feared version, not the overwhelmed and exhausted version. The woman I'm becoming, sometimes the answer is to what? How about I just rest today? How about if I stop working because I'm a workaholic? Don't know when to turn it off. Sometimes the answer is to have a difficult conversation, right? Sometimes that answer is just to keep going, not to look back. But asking that question has to keep going. You need to keep asking yourself, what would the highest version of you do right now? And maybe it's a question that you begin asking yourself. You're asking yourself, what would I do? What would I think? What would I lead? How would I care for myself? How would I respond to fear? Like these are important because becoming her doesn't happen all at once. Becoming him doesn't happen all at once. It happens to the small moments, the ordinary moments for ourselves, the moments when nobody is watching. That is special. So as we, as I kind of want to wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this. Your life can look completely different a year from now. What does that look like? What is your vision? What is it that you want to do? You need to get sick and tired of the way you feel, sick and tired that I want to start living a new life or I want to be healthier. Get pissed off at yourself and say, I'm sick and tired. You know what? I'm going to focus on me and take care of me. And I'm not to say you're not taking care of your family by all means, but you can do it, but you can take care of your family and take care of yourself. Not because everything around you needs to change, but because you need the change. You need to make the decision. That decision to stop living in the past, a decision to choose yourself, start loving yourself, start waking up and feeling empowered and fulfilled, a decision to start showing up as the woman you know that you're meant to become. And maybe that's your work for this week. It really, truly should be. What is it that you need to do? How are you going to show up today? What are you going to do different today? Something small. Just make that one decision. I'm not asking you to write a laundry list of things that you need to change or what you're unhappy about. You know what you want to start with. Just one decision, one courageous decision. Because sometimes that's all it takes to change everything is to change one thing. Always remember that you have full control of the will. That is your life. Don't point the fingers. Own it and take control. And as always, remember that you were never meant to simply survive. Life is beautiful. You were born to lead, live fully, and leave a legacy. Always remember, much hugs and love. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have, please share it with a friend. And again, I am so grateful for all of my listeners and my new listeners. Have a beautiful day, Nancy.